So here we are again, moving deeper into winter. Welcome guys. This week we decided to see if we could find something to help get the fish biting. We've used hemp seed in the past with great effect, but we wanted to try something else, possibly something easier than boiling hemp. So we went to 50 Rand Dam again and found a spot at the back of the dams. As you can see, we had our rods fanned out and the forecast didn't look great, but it was better than most days around the afternoon. We noticed the wind was blowing towards the edge of the dam to the left of where we set the rods down. The reed island seemed to be getting some of the wind too, so we thought the fish would be congregating there as well. This is our bait for the day. On our right hand rod we had the detonator dips garbana bowl dip. We had A to Z banana floaties and signature series garlic bullet dough backing and supercast almond meilies. Next to the left rod we had exactly the same setup, but we had signature series level 5 feed mix on the ground feed. We applied it as a bowl dip instead of in the feed at this point. Our telescopic rod was out right in front of us, which had power bait strawberry meilies, which had power bait strawberry meilies, brown foam, and zero plane floats from fish, with detonated dip strawberry and elevator, which is raspberry and devil's drak, with signature series level 5 feed mix as well. Our final rod we had supercast sweet corn floats and pandemonium oozes with highball and signature series level 5 feed mix. Our telescopic rod we cast out as far as we could get it to get it as close to the reeds in the middle of the dam. The bass rod was in the margin to the left and the yellow rods were to the right, close together, around 10 to 15 meters away from the bank. Our session was going as usual, with the rods out, everything was going normally, and at around 10 to 3 we got a bite on the rod with a level 5 feed mix. Now, we were determined to land this fish, so we played the fish as best we could, but unfortunately we lost the fish again. It was probably about a kilo or so. We were convinced that it's definitely the hook size that's the issue. So we changed out the red flag trace for something with a bigger hook and rebaited again as above. This time the hook sizes were around 7. This time we got no bites. So we decided we'd move the red flag trace that didn't work, well, that lost us the fish, to the bass rod and put the bass rod in front of us instead of off to the side. And guess what? This position change and the old red flag trace got us a bite. We didn't think we'd manage to land the fish, but guess what? We did, and it was a good 2-3 kilo. But once we were done putting the fish away, putting the fish back into the pond, we realized that the camera had run out of space and we didn't get any of the footage. You can believe us, you can think we're lying, it's up to you, but we managed to catch a fish, and we just seem to be having some weird luck these days on the dam. Anyway, although we were really happy that we got the bite, it was getting late and we decided to go home. We were a bit deflated because of the fact that we didn't manage to actually get the footage of catching the fish. So we went back home and we decided we'd come back the next day to actually get a fish catch on camera, right? We also retried our red flag traces with size 1 hooks, and we also used spring traces instead of the mushroom weights that we've got, just so that we could use softer ground bait, as suggested in a comment on one of our last videos from Vibishon. Thanks Vibishon, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. So when we came to 50 Rand Dam the next day, we decided we'd change position. We were contemplating it for a whole 15 minutes before we actually got out and set up the rods. And we decided to risk it because the wind was blowing into the bay of the second dam. I'm going to call it the second dam as you drive into 50 Rand Dam. That's the very next dam you get to, kind of. Yeah, so we saw the wind blowing into the bay and we decided it was better to try there. Since all the wind was going into this bay, and we thought, well, the fish will be cornered in a sense. And as you can see, the forecast was higher for the start of the session, so we were hopeful. Again, our 2 yellow rods had the same baits, but one with level 5 feed mix, the other did not. They had A to Z baits, banana floats with signature series garlet bullet backing with detonator dips, garbana bowl dip. The one with level 5 feed mix had a supercast sweet corn float, and we would cast them out to the left of the swim, more or less between the 2 banks, closer to the bank further away from us. The other 2 rods were cast out in front of our swim, and one to the right in the margin. The one rod had a large garlic float from fish, and zero plane floats also from fish, with power bait strawberry meilies and supercast chop chop and level 5 feed mix on it. The other rod had fake meilies and pandemonium oozer with elevator bowl dip from detonator dips and level 5 feed mix. So we settled in for our session. The wind was blowing with no real action, not much activity. We didn't really have fish showing. There were a couple of birds around going in and out of the water. We did think we saw a couple of, we saw ripples in the water, but we weren't sure if it was birds or fish. So it started off pretty quiet the whole day, and we ended up moving the rods during the course of the day. We started to move all the rods towards the end of the bay, towards the right of the swim, so into where the wind was leading. We moved them all into that position and kind of fanned them out into that area to see if anything would come of that strategy. So there we are, fishing as per normal, and then next thing we know, we're being overrun with cattle. We had these cows arrive. One bull came and drank from the corner of the dam, and then the rest of the cows started moving through. It's a very surreal experience, waiting for a fish to bite, and then all of a sudden you're just attacked by cows. But it seems they brought the fish with them, because next thing we knew, we were on. Confident with the new hooks, with the edge that we were missing, we played the fish as best we could, and finally we have the catch on camera. Would you believe? Finally the fish god smiled on us and decided we'd have a rough enough time chasing the catch around these dams. The fish almost took the rod back into the water. We were almost chasing the rod into the dam, which, if any of you have been watching this channel, you'll know that we have a habit of having to chase rods and tents into dams quite often. As you can see, he's knocked off one rod already. The other rod was also in the water. It was a bit of a chaotic experience. And there we go. He's in the net, boys. He's in the net. And there we are. Beautiful little silver carp. Well, it's not a silver carp, but it had a silver tinge to it. I think it's just a normal standard common carp. Just looks silver in the light. He looks quite fat there. It was only 1.5 kilos, would you believe it? Our net weighs around 500 grams, so 2.1 kilos in the net is actually 1.5 kilos. But what a great little scrapper. And that's our session for the 12th of June, guys. The sunsets have been extra awesome these last few fishing sessions, and we hope you enjoy them too. Until next time, guys, tight lines and have a great week.